Are you finished?
Yeah.
So you didn't answer my question?
No, I did.
No, you didn't. No, you did not. Because you still don't know how the Quranic inheritance works. You have no idea. You haven't studied it. Okay? It is a complicated issue in the sense, wait, there are decimals that work. The scholars of Islam have worked it out. Okay? And this, wait. Again, look. How can we have a conversation? How can we have a conversation? Have you studied this subject in depth? Be honest.
In enough depth.
What is enough depth?
I've read.
By reading 3 verses of the Quran?
And the tafsir for them.
Which tafsir?
Jalalain.
Jalalain is not depth. Jalalain is, you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jalalain. If I did that to your sources, you're an atheist. If I said evolution, if I said to you, evolution is false because we don't come from monkeys, would you laugh at me? Hold on. Would you laugh at me? If I said evolution is false because we don't come from monkeys, would you laugh at me? No. Yes. I know. Would you laugh at me? If I said we don't come from monkeys, would you laugh at me? Would you laugh at me? Rob, answer my question. If I said evolution is false because we don't come from monkeys, would you laugh at me? Simple question. Rob, I'm asking a simple question. Thank you. And I'm laughing at him for the same reason. You would ask me, what did you read on evolution? I would say, I read on Wikipedia. You would laugh at me even more. Right. So, do you have another error in the Quran? Do you have another error? We want to know. We've addressed it. Do you have another error? No, we have addressed it. Okay, I have failed to address it. Do you have another error? I have failed to address it. I have failed to.
No, I do, but I want to ask you. Like, so the Quran literally says, as I have read it out. Okay.
Do you have another error? Do you have another error?
The scholars.
Do you have another error?
The scholars have.
If I was you, I would pull 5 or 6 of them out right now. Do you have another error?
I want to nail this one down.
Okay.
Because
so you have nothing. You have nothing else.
You know what memory is?
You have nothing else. Is this the best you can come out with?
It's one of the best.
Really? Come on. You guys are desperate now. You guys are very desperate. You know God exists. You don't like that fact. You know God exists. You know people of religion have argued successfully. You know you look stupid now. You look stupid now. All you can do is, out of desperation, you will come and make claims against Islam falsely. Okay? Now, so you have nothing else now. Islam is false. Okay. So what?
It's about this.
Wait. He's got something else for us. Let's see.
I want to move the discussion down now.
Yes, true.
Let's get in depth.
Don't fall.
Let's get in depth. What 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 is the word, the Arabic word for the process by which scholars have devised a scheme, a procedure for redividing the wealth to fix what the Quran says. Isn't that true?
No.
What is 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 then? Please tell the crowd what is 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶.
I don't know.
Oh. So he's saying that I do not know what the details, what the advanced understanding of Islam.
Where did you read about it? Where did you? Well, you clearly read about it. Where did you read about it?
I've spoken to this with 𝗪𝗻𝗻𝗃, and he spoke to me in depth about what 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 is.
How did he? Okay. How did?
And I can perform. I can perform 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶.
How did 𝗪𝗻𝗃 explain this to you in decimals? Let's see this man's. Let us see his dishonesty. He is having this discussion. Wait. Now I know what's happening. He's had this discussion with Muslims before. He has been explained. Wait. What? How did? Wait. James, I know it's tough. I know. James, can you explain to me how did 𝗪𝗻𝗃 explain it?
Ask for help from 𝗪𝗻𝗃.
Okay. No. Can you explain how he explained it?
Yeah.
How he explained it?
So,
yes.
In cases where the Quran tells you to divide up a person's inheritance,
yes,
and it tells you to divide up the inheritance such that the shares of the inheritance add up to more than one and are therefore impossible to divide in the designated fractions, scholars came up with a workaround, a fix, a patch, you could say,
yes,
called 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶,
yes,
which is they add up all the sums that add up to more than one, and then they take the reciprocal of that and they multiply each share by the reciprocal in order to reduce them all proportionately so that it adds up to more than 1.
So you know the answer?
Yes.
So you know the answer?
That isn't in the Quran.
Oh my God.
That is false.
Okay.
That is not in the Quran.
Okay, wait.
That is an error which scholars have to fix later on.
Okay, good.
You understand?
Good.
Definition of false. And you couldn't tell me that. I asked you so many times.
Do you know a lot of the things Muslims do?
I asked you so many times, and you just skittered. You ran away. You went here and there, and you couldn't answer it.
Oh, I'm crying now, like a crybaby now.
No,
come on,
I'm
James, come on. People are getting bored now. Okay.
By you.
Can we?
I just wanted a straight answer.
Okay, I don't have a straight answer. I don't have a straight answer.
Go away.
Okay. Now, Islam is false. Islam is false. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you. Everyone could see how stupid you are to claim things about Islam, and then not know about them. And the answer, I asked you about 3. I asked you about 5 names of commentaries. You only gave me 2. That means you are absolutely ignorant about Islamic sources. How can you come and claim here that you know about Islamic sources? Standing here like a scholar. Come on. You should have some shame. Rob, if I read one book on evolution, what would you say to me? If I was to stand here and say, evolution is false, I have read one book on it. What would you say?
I would say that's your step.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I'm not Rob, I just don't like the hypocrisy. I'm allergic. I start sneezing when there's hypocrisy around me. Bunch of hypocrites you guys are. Seriously, you guys are a bunch of hypocrites. No. There is no error. He just explained. He knows the answer. The point is, you guys know our answers, but you keep coming back and you keep posing same questions as if you're making a point. Brownie points.
Why are you worried about him? Is he speaking for now?
Yes. So now, James. Yeah, thank you. Okay, okay. Let's assume. Fine. Are you happy now?
Yeah.
Are you happy now?
Admitted that your religion's false.
Okay. The point is now, you could not give me a... Yeah.
Sorry, mate, do you know what he's trying to tell you? Let me explain to you. Hold on, before you talk over me like you've been talking over him for the last, I think, hour now.
I've given him a lot of chances.
Just hold on a second. Can I have like 1 minute?
Okay, but I have given him a lot of chances.
Is 1 minute alright? Let me explain to you 1 minute, yeah? Okay, so I'll just talk to my camera and to the crowd, yeah? The fact of the matter is...
Can you listen?
Hold on a second. What he's trying to tell you... It sounds like you're worried. I haven't even said anything yet. Go ahead, my friend.
Yes.
What he's trying to tell you...
other people can hear, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure they can hear me. Don't worry. Your voice is breaking, though. Listen, the fact of the matter is, what he's trying to tell you is you've gone over how many tafsir?
On this?
How many tafsir?
Like, I went onto a website and I looked through all of them, but some of them...
Yes, I know, but how many tafsir?
Like, on this thing, too.
Could you just let me know how many tafsir? I'm just asking. 2 tafsir. Do you know how many tafsirs exist?
But they agree with me.
Do you know how many tafsirs exist? The two tafsir exist with you. The 2 tafsir. How long did you study these for?
What? Not that
long.
Is
the question confusing?
Not that long.
On this
how
issue,
long? How long?
And these hypocrites laugh at us when we say evolution is false. And if someone will say, I've only read 1 or 2 books, they laugh at you.
He answered, ladies and gentlemen, he answered that he studied 2 tafsir. 2 tafsir. And for you who do not know, there are many tafsir. And
the ones he studied,
half an hour.
Yes.
Half an hour. So now, I ask you, who looks like a clown here? Is that the best you can do?
Yes. It's clear.
Well done. Congratulations.
And I think that...
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, guys. First and foremost, I want to thank you for bringing me up to 50,000 subscribers. May Allah keep me sincere and keep you guys watching my videos and finding them interesting, because obviously we do them to benefit the community at large and to try and educate people about Islam, etc. Now, having said that, I wanted to make a quick video, maybe about 4 or 5 minutes, but obviously I like to speak a little bit more than I say I do, about inheritance and the coherence of inheritance. Now, in a nutshell, there are some basically attacks against Islam through Orientalists on the fractions or the proportions of inheritance left behind. Now, I believe that they're very foolish attacks, actually, and that's why they're not really used that much, frankly. Not many people attack Islam like this, because logically it's not a strong argument and they know it. But if you look at chapter like 4 verse 11 onwards, it talks about inheritance and inheritance distribution, yeah, and also the hadith tells us how to kind of divide the wealth. Now the question is this: what if the inheritance distribution goes over 1? What if it goes over 1? Or what if so in other words, if you add up all the fractions, it becomes what you call an improper fraction, where the numerator is more than the denominator. What do you do in that situation? And really and truly, this is actually an established thing in jurisprudence. So in other words, Islam has a way of dealing with inheritance if it becomes an improper fraction. So let me give you an example. This is actually a very well-known example. I've tried to write this down because obviously it's a notable example. It's called 𝗪𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗍. This is one example. It's called 𝗪𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗍. And the reason why it's called 𝗪𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗍 is because Ali ibn Abi Talib was on the minbar, the pulpit, and he kind of gave instructions on how to deal with this situation. And we know Ali ibn Abi Talib is an extension of what the Prophet ﷺ told us to follow. So his rulings, the Sahaba, they knew how to deal with this. So for instance, we know that a mother gets 1/6, and a mother and a father both get 1/6 in certain circumstances, and the mother can get 1/3 in certain circumstances in terms of inheritance. If you have let's say 3 daughters or more, or 3 daughters, 4 daughters, 5 daughters, then they get 2/3 of the inheritance, and a wife gets 1/8 of the inheritance. But when you add all of that up together, it becomes an improper fraction. Okay, so when you add up, like for example, 1/6, 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 2/3 plus 1/8, it becomes an improper fraction. So the question is what to do in that situation. Okay, so 𝗪𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗍 would dictate, because remember, this comes from Ali ibn Abi Talib, and there's something called al-Umariyya as well, which comes from these are all things that come from Sahaba and established precedents from the time of the Prophet. So what happens? What you would do is you would change the improper fraction, yeah. So for instance, usually you would have the common denominator, like the lowest common multiple of all of the fractions that I've mentioned to you, like 1/3, 2/3, 1/8, etc., would be 24. Okay, that would be the lowest common multiple, but that would be changed to 27. Now what that would mean, so the denominator now would change from 24 to 27, and every other person would get a lesser amount. So for example, the mother would get, rather than 1/6, mother and father would get, rather than 1/6, they'd get 4 out of 27, which is equivalent to about 14.8%. And the 2 daughters, or let's say 2 or 3 daughters, whatever it may be, let's say if it's 2 daughters or 3 daughters, whatever, then they will get 29.6% rather than per one of them, rather than 33.3%, because they give it 2/3 otherwise. And the wife will get 3 out of 27, which is 11%, rather than 12.5%, which would be 1/8. So in other words, in the case where it goes over 1, yeah, that's what would happen. Now the question is, how comes it can go over 1? How can there be an improper fraction? Well, the answer is this: it can go over 1 because there's a mathematical way of dealing with how it can go over 1, just like when it goes under 1, right? So for example, if a man leaves behind 3 daughters, yeah, and no one else, a man leaves behind 3 daughters and no one else, so what's going to happen? It's going to be 2/3. What's the third? What's going to happen to that remaining third? So that remaining third will go back to the daughters. Okay, it'll go back to the daughters. So in other words, if a man leaves behind, you're not going to throw that money away. Do you get it? So the point really I'm trying to make to you is, there is a mechanism of dealing with if it goes over and under 1. And the premise of, okay, it has to be 1, otherwise it's mathematically incoherent, is a false premise, because the estate stays the same. Say for example, someone has £100. That £100 is not required to go up or down. Someone leaves behind £100, and for example, in the case of 𝗪𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗍, yeah, we said, in a normal situation, say that the wife would get 12.5%, in this situation she'd get 11%. So it would go down if it goes over 1. If it goes under 1, they'll get more money. So depending upon that situation, whether it goes over and under 1, the inheritance will vary accordingly. And someone will say, okay, well then that's unfair or whatever, but that's actually inbuilt within the system of Islam, or the inheritance system. So in a nutshell, there's always a way of dealing with it. And the fractions, they do add up together. And you will be able to find a lowest common multiple in most cases. And the truth is, in most cases, it will be near to 1. If you add up these fractions together, in most cases, in most scenarios, it will be close to 1. Anyways, I hope you understand what I'm saying here. And this is a very weak attack anyways. And that's why lots of people don't even try and use it, because they know that this is an easy answer to that question. But just in case people were struggling, because I had a conversation with one person in Speaker's Corner before about this, and I think a lot of people got confused. But this is what happens if it goes over 1. These are the mechanisms by which and through which Islam has facilitated for us to be able to basically reason the inheritance, the Islamic inheritance. Thank you one more time for bringing me up to 50,000 subscribers. I don't usually do videos in my car if I'm doing it for YouTube. I only do it usually if I'm doing it for Instagram, because I'm trying to become a little bit more active on my Instagram, which you can find a link somewhere and click the button and you can follow me, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.